The town hall meeting, this was the cornerstone of government in the 1700s. Again, going back to the Tuchel, he realized that everything that happened in the community happened in a room like this, where the community got together, they told their community fathers, if you will, or the community leaders, elected leaders, this is how you're going to operate, and this is what we expect of you, and that's the way it went about. You see, back then, everybody knew the sequence of responsibility and authority in one's life. With me, because I believe in God, it starts with God. That is my ultimate authority. The next in the chain of command is me. I have the most control and authority over what happens to this body. I have the right to destroy it if I choose. Then, after me, comes my family. That is where responsibility lies after that. Then after my family comes my community. Communities used to be and should be close and relatively self-sufficient. And after my community comes my state. Then way out here is the federal government. And they're not doing anything except protecting my country, protecting my rights, and making sure that states play fair with each other. That's the way it's supposed to be. The federal government is supposed to have so little influence in your life and so little to do with your day-to-day decisions. But we've got a Supreme Court nominee that says it's within the purview of the Constitution to tell you to eat 3 vegetables a day. There's something wrong with that. There really, really is. And while the woman acknowledged that's a silly law, she didn't make the connection that we just passed a law that basically does the same thing. It says you have to buy health insurance. So our world's been turned upside down. Right now, are there any teachers in here? You. So you know that there are mandates coming down from the federal government and the state that require you to teach certain things to children. How much better would the parents be and the local school boards be at telling you how your children need to be educated? It's a common sense thing. It doesn't require much thought. But we have the Department of Education dictating how you're going to run your school, and if you don't do it, they don't give you your money back. When the mafia does that, they call it extortion. When the government does it, they call it taxation. Last year, as Kathy mentioned, we had 7 town hall meetings in the 1st district. And I had preconceived notions over how these were going to transpire, what was going to happen. And I thought at least 70% of the people were going to walk out of these things with my point of view. Because I think I'm a pretty ordinary person, and I think I'm always right. And I think that I'm pretty good at convincing people that I am, and they're wrong. Well, when I went to these town hall meetings, they had a very humbling effect. I found out that I'm not as smart as I think I am, and that other people are very smart, and that they have good ideas. And I left these town hall meetings thinking differently than when I walked in. So what that has convinced me of is that my best work as a representative will be held in this room. And hundreds of rooms across the 1st district, just like this, listening to you. I joke around and I say Congress does the best work when they're in recess, but there is a large grain of truth to that. When I am not working in Washington, and I hope it's not much, I want to be listening to you. I want you to be telling me what needs to be done in our country, how it needs to be done, and why it needs to be done. That's the way that branch of the government is supposed to work. We have lots of representatives that will listen to us. If I can't promise you anything else, I promise you that I will listen to you. I promise you I'll listen to you even if you're a progressive. I think progressives have a really demented take on governance. But I'll listen to them. It's my job. It's my job to represent the entire 1st District in Western Massachusetts. When a bill comes before me, if it's not a budgetary bill or a simple procedural bill, it's going to run through my staff. My staff, other than secretaries and things like that, will be constitutional scholars or students of the Constitution. They'll tell me whether in their opinion it passes constitutional muster. I will read every bill. That's quite a concept. I'll read every bill that comes before me. If a bill passes constitutional muster, it'll go on my website with a very minimum of 7 days. If the House Majority Leader will not allow that to happen, I'll vote no on it. Even if it's that same bill that's going to name a street bill gun with the golden sidewalks, I'll vote against it if you don't have time to read it and get back to me. I'd like for it to be longer. I'd like for you to have a chance to read the bill, digest it, and come to a meeting like this, and you and I talk. And say, this is a good bill because of, this is a bad bill because of, and this is the way we think you should vote on that. If it passes constitutional muster, that's the discussion you need to have after that. We've lost that. How many people in here have had these meetings with my opponent? Yeah. I think I can safely speak for the 2nd District. I don't think Mr. Neal has had these meetings when he was running. I don't think Mr. McGovern has had these meetings when he was running. And I'm not just picking on the Democrats. A lot of the Republicans have lost their way also. We really need to have that common touch to our government anymore. We need people that have had to live paycheck to paycheck, represent people that are living paycheck to paycheck. We need people that have really raised their families to represent people that have raised their families. We don't need people that are taking tax shelters for their $7 million votes representatives. That's all I say.